Welcome to Animal Sweet Stories. If you enjoy true accounts of people and the creatures that turn against them, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share. Let's dive into this story. At the Arena di Verona, during a gala evening at 8 p.m., automotive magnate Massimo Benedetti, a man worth 500 million euros, transforms what was supposed to be a charity event into a humiliating spectacle. Under the golden spotlights of the central stage, he launches a provocative challenge, 20 million euros to anyone who can make Rex, his apparently untamable German shepherd, obey in front of 10,000 spectators. The atmosphere is tense and surreal. In the VIP boxes, politicians and entrepreneurs place bets while sipping €1,000 champagne, while in the popular sections, ordinary families watch in disgust at this circus of wealth and arrogance. Massimo's voice resonates through the packed arena. This dog is worth more than a Ferrari, but he's untamable. Rex is no ordinary dog. He's a magnificent creature, all black with brown patches, 70 kilograms of pure rage and desperation, rescued 2 years earlier from an illegal laboratory where he endured horrible experiments. The trauma he suffered made him distrustful of all humanity, his eyes filled with a heartbreaking sadness. One after another, Europe's best trainers climb onto the illuminated stage, but all fail miserably. Rex bites, destroys, terrorizes anyone who approaches. The trainers frighten him with electric whips. Massimo threatens him, but the dog remains an untamable beast that hates every human being. It truly seems impossible to approach him. The special encounter. Among the crowd in the popular section, a 9-year-old girl with patched jeans raises her hand timidly. She's Chiara Rossi, with disheveled blonde hair and emerald green eyes. Chiara is autistic and rarely speaks in public, but something in Rex calls to her deeply. When she whispers, "I can try," the crowd bursts into laughter, and Massimo smiles sarcastically at the idea of a child on his stage. But Chiara's eyes are fixed on Rex, and for the first time in 2 years, the dog stops growling. Chiara's story. Chiara lives with her grandmother Giuseppina, a 75-year-old former elementary school teacher who still works as a cleaning lady to make ends meet. The girl's parents died tragically in a car accident 3 years earlier, and since then, Chiara has developed an extraordinary sensitivity toward those who suffer. It's as if she could read the wounded souls of living beings. That evening, they had paid €30 for the cheapest tickets, all that Giuseppina's pension allowed. Chiara wanted to see the arena where Pavarotti sang, not witness this spectacle of cruelty. Backstage, 30 minutes before the show, Chiara had observed how Massimo cruelly treated Rex, chained with thick circus-like chains. Her special child's heart felt every emotion like a stab. "Rex isn't bad," she had told her grandmother, reading the name on the sign. "He's just afraid. His name is Rex, like the dinosaur." Giuseppina knows her granddaughter well. She knows that after the tragedy, Chiara learned to communicate with wounded animals. She helped the neighbor's dog that bit everyone become gentle and affectionate. She calmed the stray cats in the neighborhood. But Rex is different, bigger, more traumatized, more desperate. "Rex is calling me, I feel it here," says Chiara, touching her chest with that ancient wisdom that sometimes frightens adults. When the girl suddenly stands up declaring, "I can help him," Giuseppina sees in her green eyes a determination she has never seen before. The moment of truth. Despite the vehement protests of the security manager, "Are you crazy?" and the sarcastic laughter of the crowd, Massimo, who loves dramatic moments and especially loves humiliating those who dare challenge him, decides to let Chiara onto the stage. "Let her up," he orders into the microphone, "but sign a waiver when Rex mauls her. It's not my fault." On social media, the event goes viral in real time. Rex views Chiara is already trending in Italy. The atmosphere is electric and cruel. From the popular stands, someone shouts, "Let her up," while from the VIP boxes, a man in a tuxedo replies, "It's madness." Massimo presents the challenge with cynicism. If Chiara manages to make Rex sit for 10 seconds, she'll win 20 million euros. The magic of empathy. What happens next defies all logic. It's 9:15 p.m. when Rex is released. 70 kilograms of muscle and rage, trained for 2 years to distrust every human being. The spotlights blind him, the crowd screams, the smell of fear fills the air. But Chiara does something completely unexpected. She sits on the ground. What the hell is she doing? Massimo whispers to the security manager. Chiara closes her eyes and begins breathing slowly, using the technique her grandmother taught her to manage sensory crises when they overwhelmed her. Inside her head, she builds a wall of silence that blocks out the noise of the outside world, creating her safe space. Rex approaches one step, ears alert, muscles ready to strike. The crowd screams in terror. "Watch out! Run! Someone stop her!" But Chiara hears nothing. She's in her special world, the one where she can communicate with wounded animals. She begins humming softly, not a song, but pure melodic sounds, like a little bird calling to its kind. The dog stops 2 meters away, tilts his head in confusion. "It's impossible," whispers the arena veterinarian into the microphone. "This dog has bitten 15 people in 2 years. But something in Rex's eyes begins to change. That blind rage slowly transforms into curiosity, then into something deeper, the miracle. Chiara slowly opens her eyes and looks at Rex, not directly. She knows it frightens him, but sideways, the way dogs look at each other. "Hello, beautiful," she whispers. "I know you're afraid. I'm afraid sometimes too." Rex sits spontaneously for the first time in 2 years. The arena literally explodes, 10,000 people on their feet, screaming, crying, applauding in collective delirium. Cell phones film from every angle, flashes blinking like falling stars. It's the moment that will change everything, that will go down in history. But Chiara isn't finished. With slow, deliberate movements, she extends her right hand toward Rex. The dog sniffs it carefully, recognizing in that gesture not a threat, but an invitation to connection. Then, with a gentleness that moves even the most cynical, he delicately places his black muzzle in Chiara's small, warm palm. "Good Rex," the girl whispers with a voice trembling with emotion. "You're a good dog. You're just sad, aren't you?" Rex makes a sound that isn't a growl, but a deep lament. As if finally, after years of pain, someone had understood his suffering and given him permission to be vulnerable. The transformation. 45 minutes later, the scene is surreal. Rex sleeps peacefully like a puppy, with his head on Chiara's legs. The dog that had terrorized everyone for 2 years never stopped being gentle, as if he had finally found the peace he was seeking. The presenter shouts into the microphone while cameras from around the world frame this modern miracle. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a miracle." Massimo Benedetti, this man who built an empire of steel and speed, who always solved everything with money and power, slowly approaches the stage. For the first time in years, his eyes are bright with tears he didn't know he could still shed. His voice betrays an emotion he thought he had buried under tons of business and cynicism. "How did you do it?" he asks, kneeling beside them, his voice reduced to an incredulous whisper. Chiara's answer is simple, but deep as an ocean. "Rex wasn't bad, Mr. Massimo. He was just like me when Mama and Papa went to heaven." Her words hit Massimo like a punch to the heart. "Your parents," he begins, but Chiara continues with that disarming serenity that only children can have. 3 years ago, an accident. At first, I was angry with everyone. Then Grandma taught me that when you're sad, you have to find someone sadder than you and help them." She gently strokes Rex, who breathes peacefully. "Rex needs love, not chains, like all of us." Rex opens his eyes and looks at Massimo for the first time without growling, almost seeming to smile with those eyes that are no longer filled with rage, but with newfound peace. When Massimo offers the 20 million with still incredulous voice, "The 20 million are yours," Chiara shakes her head decisively. She doesn't want money, doesn't need riches. Her request is simple but revolutionary. I want Rex to be happy. I want you to build a place where sad dogs can meet children like me, and I want my grandma to not have to work as a cleaning lady at 75 anymore. The arena crowd applauds openly, moved by this demonstration of pure spirit. In the VIP boxes, men in tuxedos wipe their eyes without shame. "Done," says Massimo in English, then corrects himself with a smile. "Everything you want." But Chiara has one last request that will forever change Massimo Benedetti's life, a request that will transform him from a cynical magnate into a benefactor of humanity. 1 year later, the Rex Arena Center. 1 year later, in place of the former Benedetti Motors parking lot, stands a dream structure, the Rex Arena Center. 3,000 square meters of gardens, dog pools, therapy rooms, and a miniature arena for shows. The center hosts 50 special children and 70 rescued dogs, each child-dog pair followed by a team of psychologists, veterinarians, and educators. The results are incredible. 90% of the children show improvements in social interactions, with waiting lists from all over Europe. Rex, now chief therapy dog with a golden harness, has become the ambassador of hope for autism throughout Italy. A BBC journalist frames the golden sign, Rex Arena Center, where autism meets four-legged love. Behind her, in the former Benedetti Motors parking lot, stands the dream structure. "Mr. Benedetti," she asks in Italian, "how did this all start?" Massimo smiles, sitting on a bench, while Chiara teaches an autistic child how to brush Rex. "It started with a lesson in humility," he responds. "A 9-year-old girl taught me that true wealth isn't measured in euros, but in smiles." Grandmother Giuseppina manages the center's cafe and has stopped cleaning. Every Saturday evening in the miniature arena, the center's children perform with their dogs in front of families. It has become Verona's most popular event. "Ready for the show?" Massimo asks Chiara. She nods, climbing onto the small arena with Rex. She wears the same jeans jacket from a year ago, but now it's decorated with colorful patches gifted by children from around the world. "Ladies and gentlemen," she announces into the microphone, "this is the story of Rex, who learned to love, and of a man who learned that money doesn't buy happiness." She looks Massimo in the eyes. "But love does." The small crowd applauds. Rex perfectly executes all commands, not out of fear but out of love. At the end of the show, he sits next to Chiara and smiles at the camera. "This is impossible to believe," whispers the journalist. "The same dog that terrorized—" "The same one," responds Massimo, "but now he's the ambassador of hope for autism throughout Italy." Chiara gets down from the arena and hugs Massimo. "Thank you for believing in us." "Thank you for saving me," he responds with tears in his eyes. The epilogue. Massimo sold Benedetti Motors to finance centers worldwide, calling it the best investment of my life. The Rex model has been adopted in 15 countries. Chiara wrote a book that sold 2 million copies, and Rex travels the world with her for conferences as the first worldwide canine ambassador for autism. Every year, on May 15th, the Arena di Verona hosts the Night of Miracles, a free evening where special children and rescued dogs perform together. Last year, 50,000 people participated, all learning that impossible is just a word adults use when they forget to believe in magic. The journalist turns off the camera. "One personal question, Mr. Benedetti. Have you ever regretted that bet?" Massimo bursts into laughter, watching Chiara teach Rex to high-five. "I lost 20 million euros, he says, "but I gained a family and discovered who I really am." He approaches Rex and pets his head. The dog that a year ago wanted to maul him now licks him affectionately. The bet at the Arena di Verona entered history not as a challenge won or lost, but as proof that love can transform even the most wounded hearts, and that sometimes, to save the world, all it takes is a brave little girl and a dog who learned to trust again. This story demonstrates how every difference can actually be a hidden superpower, and that love can truly tame any beast.